Okay, page 53, as I was saying, at some point, you're gonna cooperate. There we go. Okay, so have your pink tables ready because you're gonna need that as well today, all day. What's the annual cost to insure an apartment? So you're renting. That's important because it's gonna change after today. You want $65,000 worth of coverage. It's going to be comprehensive. Remember, that's the deluxe versus basic, right? Standard. And it's a $200 deductible. We want before and after tax. The reason why I do before and after, because the exams, the province sometimes stops at before. It actually says before tax. So you have to stop. You can't do the times 1.07. But if it says after tax, then go ahead and multiply it by 1.07. So you need to be able to do both. So here we go, insurance. You have that formula. At some point today, you need to make sure it finds its way to your study sheet. Okay, that formula. You must have a number here. There must be a number first. So you need to grab your table. It's tenant insurance, $65,000 comprehensive. 65 is right here. This is standard. Comprehensive is there. So you need to grab that 400 and introduce that to your formula. Plus, I'm going to do this because a lot of students get this wrong. This part is not needed in this case. There is no overage. You're not going over 75,000. That's the max your table can handle, right? So, ka-chung, ka-chung, right? It's a good sound effect, right? And then you want $200 deductible. So yes, this part stays, right? That takes care of the $200 deductible. You add 10% to your premium. And the ones before and after tax. I'm going to have this 1.07 attached to it. So a lot of you, I see that some of you are done already. So just follow along. I will. Okay, so I will just do this part because I don't want the taxes just yet. So I can identify the before taxes part. And that's 440. So technically you would stop here and just say this is before taxes. If the question just asked for that, you're done. And so if you take 440 and you want to add 7%, which is just multiply it by 1.07, this is the answer you should be getting. So that's 470.8. Don't forget about the 0, okay? And so this is after tax, okay? So there you have it. That's the easiest, one of the easiest scenarios because you don't have overage, okay? You're not going over the amount. Let's keep going. What's the annual cost to insure an apartment? So you're renting for $80,000, standard, $200 deductible, before and after tax. So we're going to do both. So you go to your study sheet, you look for that insurance formula. You start with a square bracket. Don't forget about the square bracket. You need to grab a number. Maybe what I will do is ask you, look at the coverage you need. It's insurance for an apartment. What's the max? The table only provides 75,000. So if you want to go ahead, right, subtract the max from the number. If you see it like that, why not? So that's the $5,000 that I call overage. You can call it whatever you want, to be honest. You can redo the formula with the words that make sense to you, okay? You can do it in French, right, if you want to. So grab a number. Let's go grab a number. Sure. So you max out. So you go right to the bottom here. Which one is it, standard or comprehensive? Comprehensive? I'm Dory, like you need to help me out. Okay, you're gonna make me flip. Okay. Standard. Okay, there we go. 75. So 359 is what you pay plus extra. Okay, so remember these two numbers. This one gives you a mark right there. Boom. Plus, I'm $5,000 over, and I pay something for it, which is $450. Make sure you write it down like that, nice and neat. Okay. It's a $200 deductible, so I have to include this step. And I'm also going to include taxes. Right, so this is your $200 deductible, and this is tax. So there we go. So now we need to clean this up. Please don't rush, right? Don't rush. Write down 359 and then figure out what this is, because it's bed mass, multiplication before addition, right? So you grab 5,000, you multiply by 450, and then divide it by 1,000. So you pay an extra $22.50 for the extra coverage you need. Don't forget about these guys. Okay. So now I'm going to add 359 to it. So much fun, eh? 381.50 times 1.10 times 1.07. So I'm going to go times 1.10 or times 1.1, whatever. So that's 419.65. This is before tax. And as soon as I multiply that by 1.07, it's 449.03. Okay, is that the answer? There we go. So this is after tax. So technically the province, if you clearly label before and after, you could do the whole thing and you would still get full marks because you're telling me which one is which, right? But if you just gave me, like, just did this whole work and just stopped there, we would say, hey, you're not clearly identifying which one the final answer is. Okay. Uno más, right? One more. Take away 75,000 because I'm over. That is $45,000 overage. Lots of stuff that needs to be insured, I'm guessing. So 120 is quite a bit over. I'm going to go a little faster here. You have to grab a number. It's comprehensive. So your coverage amount max is at 75. You're under the comprehensive column. So it's 454 and 550. Remember that? 454 plus $45,000, of which you're going to have to pay $550 for every $1,000 you go over. It says $500 deductible, so this part is gone. You don't do this part. And it's before taxes. Right? Before taxes, so that's gone as well. So you're just left with what's in the square brackets. Okay, so insurance would be 454 plus, let's clean this up. It's like I'm doing a telegraph, right? It's 247.50. You're a tough crowd. I should always test my jokes before I just stop joking. Yeah, okay. All right. 701.50. Okay. Question. How could this person right here, under these circumstances, if I ask you, how can you reduce your premium? How can I make it less? I still want insurance, but I don't want to pay as much. What can this person do? And if you're stuck, grab your pink table and just look at the things that are here. What affects your insurance? The amount of coverage you need, correct? So this person could say, well, instead of 120,000, maybe let's go for $75,000 coverage. Maybe let's not go that high. Instead of comprehensive, you can drop to standard, right? I'm doing this because the province is known to do these kinds of things, okay? So sometimes the answer is right in front of you. So switch from comprehensive to standard. Instead of going $200 deductible, you just stick with a $500 deductible policy. Like you switch. So everything is right in front of you here. That's all you need. And like to answer that question, if they ever ask for it, how can you reduce your coverage? And then they can do another twist. They could say, provided you need the same amount of coverage, like you can't change the amount. How else can you reduce it? Well, you're left to change this to a standard, right? And oh, you're already at a 500, so this technically cannot be changed. We're stuck with a 500 in this case. We can't go even bigger than that, right? So just remember, those are the things that you need to be mindful of. Okay. For the